Boris said something very interesting this past week, Bert. He brought up
Can't
the
believe this is even
idea
a thought.
of a neutral site World Series. And much like everybody else, I scoffed. And then I said, well, hold on.
Mm-hmm.
A neutral site World Series, not terrible. Hear me out. The Super Bowl is an event, right?
Correct. Yeah.
People from all over the world come and enjoy it. It builds the economy for the city it's in. And if you have a neutral site World Series, that's the next logical step to me for baseball to take the next level.
Mm.
Imagine it's going to be like the World Cup. You have it multiple games in one area, you build it up, have the World Series in one location. Miami, nice places. I don't want to travel to St. Louis, or I don't want to travel to these bullshit ass cities, but you have the World Series in the greatest stadiums, like the greatest places to play baseball, the World Series and the classic baseball stadiums around the country. You could build something for all I care, but you build the economy of the place, you make it an event, the advertising dollars. And I'm not speaking, trust me, I get the baseball purists aren't going to like that. And oh, what do you do about the home field advantage? Screw that. Like, screw that home field advantage. Give them the last at bat. Give the quote unquote home team the last at bat, whatever you want to do. But you got to think bigger, man. Like, having the World Series in one area will also provide, you take away travel, we will get our players in the best, most optimum conditions possible if you keep it in a central site. And we can have a week-long party in one area. It would be amazing to have a neutral site World Series. And then again, you treat it like an event, like the NFL draft and the Super Bowl. It turns into a week-long event, but with baseball, because it'll be every other day. Or every day. Now you can do it every day. So a week straight of baseball. Amazing stuff. Come on, Bert, jump on this train with me.
I'm 70% against this, and I'm leaving room for 30% as to why I think it could work out, which is what I'll finish up with. But this is fucking insanity to me. It works out for the Super Bowl for one reason and one reason only. It's one fucking game. It is one game that's played on the same size field, no matter where you play in the country. It's just a matter of whether you're playing indoors or outdoors. And baseball ruins that with their weird fucking rules that every field can be slightly different. And that's where the home field advantage comes into. It's easier to hit out a short porch at Yankee Stadium than it is in the Green Monster. We know these things. But if you're going to play 7 games in a series, an event like this, whether you're playing every day for a week, is not going to work out. Plus, the MLB doesn't have as big of a draw as the NFL does. They don't. Celebrities aren't going to travel to the World Series unless their team is in it, plain and simple. So it's not going to work out. It never is, unless, here comes the 30%, you change it to a 3-game series. It happens Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You change all specs to MLB fields to they're all the same size, or at least one. I mean, we could one field all the same size for this. And honestly, you do, like you said, you play in some of the hottest baseball cities. Keyword there, baseball cities, which means you're looking at LA, Chicago, New York, throw Boston in there too. You'd mentioned Miami, great party city, terrible baseball stadium, and that's not voted by me because I've never been there before, but ask anybody else. Not the best ballpark to be in. But not only great baseball cities, great huge cities for people to travel to and make it an event as well. And we understand like the Super Bowl is the event and they have all this going on and they have this media and they have all these, they have the flag football games and everything else. Like, yeah, if you want to do that for the baseball, that's good too, but you're going to have more draw, especially if you are going to be playing in St. Louis, right? Or Kansas City. Again, nothing against those ballparks, but you have to give people a reason to travel there. Celebrities are going to want to go watch baseball 3 days in a row. So I understand where this idea came from, but it's just, again, unless you shorten the series, it's just not going to happen because you're talking about, and what if you get 2 small market teams that are in the finals? Who's going to go watch that shit?
So you brought that up. That's why a neutral site would help. It would undeniably grow the game of baseball, period. Like you turn anything into an event. The firefighter mustache makes you sound like you know baseball. Thanks. That was the whole point. But
from the top rope.
But the World Series should be as big as the Super Bowl, and it's not close. But if you make it a plannable event, Bert, where now you can make plans in advance because I have all season. I know where the World Series is going to be. I can plan all season. It don't matter who's in it. I can, because I'm not going again. I'm going for the event aspect. People are so stuck on the baseball part, they're forgetting about the business part. That's why you put them in cities where people want to travel to. Just like the Super Bowl. Hey, these cities bid for it because they know it brings in big dollars for the city. And I mean, who doesn't want a 7-game party? Nobody cares who the teams are. And when you get advertising dollars and you get big events, you know what you get alongside of that? Celebrities. You had Meg the Stallion twerking on the pitcher's mound. The match that could be 7 games of twerking
right before the first pitch. Yeah,
right before the first pitch, doing it amazingly. Imagine that 7 games of that in a row. You sign me up. And trust me, stars, these companies, they pay these celebrities to show up to events and go to these games. They don't really care. Like they don't know. You think the Kardashians know what the fuck Anthony Edwards' free throw percentage is? No, they're just.
I mean, they might. Some of them are basketball fans.
No, they're fans of the basketball players. But they're there because it's LA or it's Miami or it's New York, and that's what you do there. So, like, yes, but then you put it in Milwaukee, the World Series in Milwaukee a year. You know what I mean? Like that will help them. That will help them undoubtedly. And also now you can plan for. And you can also make alterations to these stadiums a bit on some of them. Like you can change certain little things and make it work. But to me, it's no different than playing the All-Star game in different arenas every year. They make concessions all the time. But
like,
I'm looking at it from a
different.
It's business
season, right? And virtually, I mean, we've talked about this before. Those games are absolutely meaningless at this point. But I mean, what if you pick a site for the World Series? Like, let's say you pick New York, and then New York goes to the World Series. Then it becomes home field advantage. So what are you going to do?
Give them the last at bat.
So they always get the last at bat. But like we're talking you want to take away that feel of home field advantage. That's the same reason why the Super Bowl does it, right? Like it should be played at a neutral site, meaning that fans have to travel. There's none of this like, oh, we're only selling tickets to these fans. We're only doing like no. So like, but if you
that's why that's terrible for baseball.
But if you name this at the beginning of the season and that team of that home hosting site ends up making it to the World Series, how can you adjust from that too? Now, if you want to build a stadium in a town that nobody has baseball in and do it Olympic style, do that. That's fine. Do the Field of Dreams field,
But I mean, if your team is in the World Series and again, you're gonna have to do some schedule changes here. Give some time. But like, if you find out your team is going to the World Series again for the Super Bowl, teams travel. Most of that stadium with Eagles fans, they travel from all over.
Yeah.
And at a neutral site, you're getting you're splitting profit between 2 stadiums instead of just giving one stadium every year in all of baseball. You want to talk about dollars going down. What would build the game and bring in more dollars than turning your biggest asset into an event? And like this notion of home field advantage is garbage, because what if the away team wins? Then it doesn't feel the same anyway. So like, what if they win in the 7th game and it's the away team? Like who cares? That shit happens all the time. And if you're a fan, you're going to travel just like the football players do, just like basketball does. They travel to go see your team. And make it
some
a
of
thing.
Some of them do right now. There were some people flying New York to LA last year. A little crazy, but they were doing it.
But this is not a baseball specific thing. I think basketball should do it too. I think there should be, just like the All-Star game, move it to a different city every year and play all the games there. It's better for player health and safety. We'll get games faster. The World Series can be played in a faster amount of time. That way I don't have to wait every other day to watch these games. And it'll just be a better thing. And again, Bert, hear me out. 7 days of Meg the Stallion on the pitcher's mound. I mean, I mean, I don't know. You sound like the crazy one, not me.
I just don't see it how it works out. I don't. No.
Yeah, the baseball purists will never allow it to happen. The powers that be will never allow
How
it to happen.
dare
I just
you
thought it was
call
an
me a
interesting.
purist after all of the advancements I've talked about with this sport?
Yeah, you sound like a purist. You sound like a get off my lawn purist. You sound like Angel Hernandez.
Oh no,